Out of the very heart of England, from the battlements of this proud castle, have flown aforetime standards of many a proud knight. Warwickshire, the stately heart of England, rich in romance and tradition. It is fitting, therefore, that today the name of the all-British standard car should be closely associated with it. For here are the works of the Standard Motor Company at Coventry. From Much Park Street, Coventry, 29 years ago, there has developed the great concern whose name is world famous for motor cars. Shall we drop down and see some of the marvels of the standard works at Canley? Many processes of manufacture and machining are carried out in these machine shops ready for assembling. It is difficult to know which is more wonderful, the marvelous machine tools, almost human in their work, or the mechanism they contribute. Here are cylinders being ground and drilled. Throughout every process, rigid and exacting tests are applied that the name of standard may be a guarantee of unfailing workmanship. The main crankshaft machine shop could interest us for a long while, but we've only time to look at a few of its wonders, being ground, set, balanced, and again tested before being assembled. Now for the biggest jigsaw puzzle you could find. But to the experts, of course, this is no puzzle at all. Ingenious device, that valve grinder, isn't it? Doing a dozen or so operations simultaneously. It's a pity that all the cranks we know couldn't be put into neat little cases like this, isn't it? Now you see the secret of rapid output, and incidentally of low prices. The conveyor track, in which every piece of work moves at a carefully calculated rate so that each man's work is completed in a certain time. The parts move along as they are assembled, and other conveyors bring in fresh parts to be assembled in their turn. Well, we've got the engine now for the testing, where every care is taken to ensure the perfect running which every standard owner enjoys. From its own assembly track, the engine becomes a part of the apparently fitted onto the chassis assembling track. Like other units, it reaches the track in a suitable point, and bit by bit, the chassis begins to take shape. Final and careful adjustments are made, and now comes the stage of that process known as finishing. Like the ladies' makeup, it occupies some time. The chassis now passes through a spraying booth, and thence to a drying oven, from which it emerges, ready to receive its remaining components. To secure permanent finish, all fittings pass through a rust-proof preparation before they are sprayed to any desired color. Now for wheels and tires, which move on a special overhead conveyor to meet the chassis at a given point. A dynamo is slipped in almost before you notice it, because you're watching the lamps and distinctive radiator being fitted. The whole chassis then undergoes, like the guards, more inspection, ensuring similar perfection and accuracy. While all this is going on, other deft workers in wood and metal manipulate equally wonderful and up-to-date machines in the various processes of body building. From sawmill through planing shop, the wooden pieces pass to receive the pressed steel panels. Clever designed jigs hold the parts in position while they're being screwed together and the reinforcements fitted. This careful body construction ensures that standard owners are not worried by rattles and squeaks when riding in luxury over rough roads. And watch this powerful electric rolling machine which melts the steel like butter. Then, hey presto, doors already made are fixed. A wash and brush up, a spray up. Then a rub down. Numerous coats of cellulose paint are then bestowed. Between coats there is much rubbing and polishing, some of it by hand. Thus beauty is added to strength and grace, making the modern standards as resplendent as those that flew from the battlements of old. No, it isn't a tailor shop, nor yet a young ladies' sewing meeting, at least not exactly. These patterns, too, don't come from the popular weeklies, from that section of the design department which thinks out those little extra somethings which make standard motoring so luxurious. Sewing looks easy, but I didn't think so last week over a small matter of a button. The seats, cushions, and comfortable padding are being cut, sewn, and made up. This is an Arabian night shop where miles of fabrics and the chosen hides of 1,001 beasts are converted into interior appointments and decorations for the modern motorist's comfort. Next time you look in a London West End store window, don't imagine that is the only place to find colour fashion. They have them here too, and as attractive as any that may be worn by feminine owners of standard cars. A few more details remain to be added. The chassis has now acquired quite a good collection. And now, a great moment. After all these preliminaries, an introduction takes place, suits betimes, and in less than a jiffy, a marriage is arranged and effected between chassis and body. As we sometimes hear people say, they are absolutely made for each other. Like most newlyweds, there's a little furnishing to be done. And there it goes, all that upholstering we admire just now. The happy pair are nearly ready for the road. But wait, they have no mothers-in-law, but they have inspectors. Happily, all is well. And now for a stirrup cup. No, that's out of date. Well, one for the road. Petrol with a dash of oil and water, please. And then the road. The sponsors of the standard motor car watch with pride the hill tests which each car has to pass, and also final road tests. And now, out of the very heart of England comes the standard car, around which, month after month, more and more supporters rally. If you haven't yet decided to buy a standard car, have a trial run. Miss Dodo Watts, famous film and stage star, taking delivery of her favorite car, a standard, of course. So goodbye and good going.